Fun.
And hello to everybody who's watching us now on YouTube or wherever you're watching us today. Hello and welcome to Shakespeare's Shaking Scenes this afternoon. My name's Lizzie. I'm the artistic director for Shakespeare, and we have quite a small but select group this afternoon who are going to be presenting you with 4 scenes in our 3 o'clock slot. We'll be back at 5 o'clock with some more scenes and a whole nother cast. So please drop back and join us then. But so far, for our first crew, we have got, and give yourselves a little wave and a little hello. We have got Dewi, Georgia, Bradley, Ashleigh, Lizzie, Larissa, Jeff, and Jennifer this afternoon. So very happily joined by Lizzie H, who's an old player who's come back to join us and play today. So lovely to have you back in the family, and always good to see the rest of you guys. Okay. Go relax and chill in the tiring house, and I will call you guys when you're ready. Okay, see you in a bit. So don't the rest of you go anywhere. So in case you haven't sort of come and dropped by one of our Sunday afternoons before, what we do is we present live Shakespeare online. Okay, there's a lot of people doing that, but we're working from cue scripts, which means that our players perform from their lines and cues only. They have prepared individually, as did the players in Shakespeare's time, which means that's all that they've done. Some of them have had a few questions, so they've had a quick chat with me or one of our other sort of screen testers, text coaches and so forth. But the first time that each person in the scene will hear each other's lines is when you do too, within the spirit of Renaissance playhouse performance. Because in Shakespeare's time, they really didn't rehearse. They did a tiny bit, but not what we would recognize as rehearsal, and really not enough to help you out that much. So I'm not going to talk too much. There is something else I want to say today, because there's a lot of speculation at the moment about whether theatres and how they're going to survive in the current climate, if or when or how live theatres, actual physical theatres, will be able to open. It might be later this year, it might not be till next year. We don't know, but there is a lot of anxiety. And you may have seen in the press that there is particular trouble at the moment over the possible fate of Shakespeare's Globe on the South Bank. Now, we want to do our bit to support that. Obviously, we are huge fans of the Globe and all things Shakespeare. So if anybody out there would like to support us today by donating to our little bucket, our little donations link, then today's bucket will be going to the Globe Fund. So if you support us today, we will be giving it to the Globe. I hope that's okay for you. If you'd rather just support us, then please send me a message and I'll make sure that your money is separated. But we want to support the Globe. And there is a 48-hour readathon going on, raising money for the Globe, which is on at the moment. And I think that's running until about 10 o'clock tonight. So if you need a little Shakespeare top up between about 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock when we're off, then please hop to Read for the Globe, which is on YouTube, and you will find a lot of very passionate Shakespeareans supporting the Globe, and you can donate from there as well. So please, if you can today, support the Globe, because we just hate it if it goes. So we're going to get on with shaking our scenes today, and we have one brand new scene. We've never done this as a scene before. We're going to Windsor, to the Merry Wives of Windsor, to see Mistress Ford and Mistress Page. So we're only going to do one scene from this play, so I'm going to give you a little context first. Mistress Page and Mistress Ford are two very ordinary, very respectable housewives of, the real housewives of Windsor. And they are dealing with their lives of their husbands, some jealous husbands, some less, and trying to organize their children and everybody's lives and their friends around them. They also try to keep away from the slightly rounder upper classes, led by people like Prince Hal and his friend Poins and their crony, John Falstaff. So in this scene, we are going to meet Mistress Ford and Mistress Page, and we might learn a bit more about Falstaff. So, Mistress Ford, Mistress Page, are you ready? Can you unmute yourselves and give me a yes, please?
Yes, mistress.
Excellent, wonderful. So, in your own time, by popular request, I'm going to try and do this properly. As soon as you are ready, or as soon as I vanish, then I say begin the scene and make it so.
What? Have scaped love letters in the holiday time of my beauty, and am now I a subject for them? Let me see. Ask me no reason why I love you. For though love used reason for his precision, he admits him not for his counsellor. You are not young. No more am I. Give to them their sympathy. You are merry. So am I. Ha ha, then there's more sympathy. You love sack, and so do I. Would you desire better sympathy? Let it suffice thee, mistress page. At the least, if the love of soldier can suffice, that I love thee. I will not say pity me, 'tis not a soldier-like phrase, but I say love me. By me, thine own true knight, by day or night, or any kind of light, with all his might, for thee to fight. John Falstaff. Oh, wicked, wicked world. One that is well nigh worn to pieces with age, to show himself a young gallant. What an unweighed behaviour hath this Flemish drunkard picked, with the devil's name, out of my conversation, that he dares in this manner to assay me? Why, he hath not been thrice in my company. What should I say to him? Why, I'll exhibit a bill in the Parliament for the putting down of men. How shall I be revenged upon him? For revenged I will be, as sure as his guts are made of puddings.
Mistress Page, trust me, I was going to your house.
And trust me, I was coming to you. You look very ill.
Nay, I'll ne'er believe that. I have to show to the contrary.
Faith, but you do in my mind.
Well, I do then. Yet I say I could show you to the contrary. Oh, Mistress Page, give me some counsel.
Now, what's the matter, woman?
Oh, woman, if it were not for one trifling respect, I could come to such honour.
Hang the trifle, woman. Take the honour. What is it? Dispense with trifles. What is it?
If I would but go to hell for an eternal moment or so, I could be knighted.
What, thou liest? Sir Alice Ford?
We burn daylight. Here, read. Perceive how I might be knighted. I shall think the worse of fat men. His words do no more adhere and keep place together than the 100 psalms to the tune of Greensleeves. What tempest I trow through this whale, with so many tons of oil in his belly, here ashort at Windsor. How shall I be revenged on him? I think the best way were to entertain him with hope, till the wicked fire of lust have melted him in his own grease. Did you ever hear the like?
Letter for letter, but that the name of Page and Ford differ. To thy great comfort in this mystery of ill opinion, here's the twin of thy letter. But let thine inherit first, for I protest mine never shall. I warrant he hath 1,000 of these letters writ with blank space with different names, sure, more. I had rather be a giantess and lie under Mount Pelion. Well, I will find you 12 lascivious turtles ere one chaste man.
Why, this is the very same. The very hand, the very words. What doth he think of us?
Nay, I know not. It makes me almost ready to wrangle with mine own honesty. For sure, unless he knows some strain in me that I know not of myself, he would never have boarded me in this fury.
Boarding, you call it. I'll be sure to keep him above deck.
So will I. If he come under my hatches, I'll never to sea again. Let's be revenged on him. Let's appoint him a meeting. Give him a show of comfort in his suit.
Nay, I will consent to any villainy against him that may not sully the chariness of our honesty. Oh, that my husband saw this letter! Oh, it would give endless food to his jealousy.
Why, look where he comes. And my good man, too. He is as far from jealousy as I am from giving him cause. And that, I hope, is an unmeasurable distance.
You are the happier woman.
Let's consult together against this greasy knight. Come hither.
And off they go to wreak their revenge. Thank you very much, mistresses. Thank you very much indeed. That was lovely. Lovely to have a bit of Merry Wives of Windsor. I know that Mistress Page has to hop off and deal with her family immediately. So thank you very much for joining us today, Lizzie. It's been lovely to see you. I don't know if anybody else can see it, but I think it looks like her camera's frozen. But we will roll on to our next scene. So now we're going to All's Well That Ends Well, where the lovely Lady Countess is going to be counselling her young friend Helene. So for those of you who don't know too much about All's Well That Ends Well, and many people don't, it's a play not done as much as many others are. All's Well That Ends Well. Well, the story that we need to tell you so far is the Countess of Roussillon is a very lovely and wonderful great lady of France. She has been recently widowed, and as a result of her widowhood, her son, Bertram, who is not yet of age, has been taken to the court of the King of France as a ward of the court. So she is a lady now without her husband and without her only child. She is feeling sort of maternal care towards a young girl called Helene, who is the daughter of the local doctor, who has also recently died. And she has seen that Helene has been rather sad of late, and she's concerned for her, as every good lady should be. So in this scene, we are going to see the lovely Lady Countess counsel poor young Helene. And if you wonder about my pronunciation, in the first folio, Helen is spelt with 2 L's. And we played a little game. Okay, what happens if we say Helen with 2 L's? Helene. Oh, that sounds French. This play is supposedly set in France, so that's what we're going with. It's always fun to play these games because you never know what you're going to find when it comes to first folio and spelling. So we need a countess and I need a Helen. Are we ready, ladies? Yes, we are. I can see you there. Excellent. So in your own time, once I vanish, make it so.
Even so it was with me when I was young. If ever we are nature's, these are ours. This thorn doth to our rose of youth rightly belong. Our blood to us, this to our blood is born. It is the show and seal of nature's truth, where love's strong passion is impressed in youth. By our remembrances of days foregone, such were our faults, or then we thought them none. Her eye is sick on it, I observe her now.
What is your pleasure, madam?
You know, Helene, I am a mother to you.
Mine honourable mistress.
Nay, a mother. Why not a mother? When I said a mother, methought you saw a serpent. What's in mother that you start at it? I say I am your mother, and put you in the catalogue of those that were enwombed mine. 'Tis often seen adoption strives with nature, and choice breeds a native slip to us from foreign seeds. You ne'er oppressed me with a mother's groan, yet I express to you a mother's care. God's mercy, maiden, does it curd thy blood to say I am thy mother? What's the matter that this distempered messenger of wet, the many-coloured iris rounds thine eye? Why, that you are my daughter.
That I am not.
I say I am your mother.
Pardon, madam. The Count Rousillon cannot be my brother. I am from humble, he from honoured name. No note upon my parents, his all noble. My master, my dear lord he is, and I his servant live, and will his vassal die. He must not be my brother.
Nor I your mother.
You are my mother, madam. Would you were so, that my lord your son were not my brother.
Yes, Helene, you might be my daughter-in-law. God shield you mean it not, daughter and mother, so strive upon your pulse. What, pale again? My fear hath catched your fondness. Now I see the mystery of your loveliness, and find your salt tears head. Now to all sense 'tis gross. You love my son. Invention is ashamed against the proclamation of thy passion, to say thou dost not, therefore tell me true. But tell me then 'tis so. For look, thy cheeks confess it unto to the other, and thine eyes see it so grossly shown in thy behaviours, that in their kind they speak it. Only sin and hellish obstinacy tie thy tongue, that truth should be suspected. Speak, is it so? If it be so, you have wound a goodly clue. If it be not, forswear't howe'er I charge thee, as heaven shall work in me for thine avail, to tell me truly.
Oh, good madam, pardon me.
Do you love my son?
Your pardon, my noble mistress.
Love you my son?
Do not you love him, madam?
Not about. My love hath in it a bond, whereof the world takes note. Come, come, disclose the state of your affection, for your passions have to the full appeached.
Then I confess, here on my knee before high heaven and you, that before you and next unto high heaven, I love your son. My friends were poor but honest, so's my love. Be not offended, for it hurts not him that he is loved of me. I follow him not by any token of, nor would I have him till I do deserve him, yet never know how that desert should be. I know I love in vain, strive against hope, yet in this captious and intentful sieve, I still pour in the waters of my love, and lack not to lose still. Thus, Indian-like religious in mine error, I adore the son that loves upon his worship, being knows of him no more. My dearest madam, let not your hate encounter with my love for loving where you do. But if yourself, whose aged honour cites a virtuous youth, did ever in so true a flame of liking wish chastely and love dearly, that your Diane was both herself and love, oh, then give pity to her whose state is such that cannot choose but lend and give where she is sure to lose, that seeks not to find that her search implies, but riddle-like lives sweetly where she dies.
There she goes. Well done, ladies. Thank you so much. I love this scene particularly. I enjoy so much the "do you love my son?" Don't tell me, please don't tell me you love my son. Don't you love him? Don't go around me that way. That's just always so much fun. Well, in case you wonder what happens next, Helene sets off to the Paris court with the aim of curing the king of a disease of which he is dying. But she has other plans in mind. Maybe one day we'll revisit the whole play and see if we can tell you the whole story. We are going to go elsewhere. We're not going to the Paris court. We are going to the city of Rome now, to the scene between Cassius and Casca in the middle of a thunderstorm. So at this point in Julius Caesar, there is great unrest, political and of other sorts, in the city of Rome. There are two factions divided, so those supporting Caesar and possibly making him king, and those who claim themselves loyal citizens of Rome, and very much behind this idea of Roman sort of ruler by election, not ruler by right, as it were. And we have a conversation between three politicians who meet at night passing through the city. So do I have a Casca, a Cassius, and a Cicero ready in the tiring house? I can see Casca.
Yep.
Cassius and Cicero. Yes, there you go. Right, ready. Okay, so as soon as as I vanish, then it will be enter Casca and Cassius, I think. No, yes. Well, you know your cues. Enter, make it so.
Good even, Casca. Brought you Caesar home? Why are you breathless? And why stare you so?
Are you not moved when all the sway of earth shakes like a thing unfirm? Oh, Cicero, I have seen the tempest when the sea has shaked, and I have seen the ambitious ocean rage and roar and foam to be enjoined with the clouds, but never till tonight did I see a...
Did I go through a tempest dropping fire?
I go through I'm going to start again, if that's okay.
Okay, yes, let's begin again.
I'm so sorry. Just
don't be at all sorry. You know, it's absolutely fine. Yeah. Geoffrey, it's always better to have that script in your hand.
Yeah.
We do learn these things very, very quickly over, which is why a prompter is involved at all. I wanted to see how far we go. So, in your own time, Geoffrey, let us know. Are you ready? Yeah. Are you ready to go?
Yes.
Okay. So, in your own times, off you go.
Good even, Casca. Brought you Caesar home? Why are you breathless? And why stare you so?
Are you not moved when all the sway of earth shakes like a thing unfirm? Oh, Cicero, I have seen tempests when the scolding winds have rived the knotty oaks, and I have seen the ambitious ocean swell and rage and foam, but never till tonight, never till now, did I go through a tempest dropping fire. Either there is a civil strife in heaven, or else the world, too saucy with the gods, incenses them to send destruction.
Why? Saw you anything more wonderful? A common slave.
A common slave, you know him well by sight, held up his left hand, which did flame and burn like 20 torches joined. And yet his hand, not sensible of fire, remained unscorched. Besides, I have not since put up my sword. Against the Capitol I met a lion, which glazed upon me and went surly by without annoying me, and there were drawn upon a heap 100 ghastly women, transformed with their fear, who swore they saw men, all in fire, walk up and down the streets. And yesterday the bird of night did sit, even at noonday, upon the marketplace, howling and shrieking, when these Prodigies do so conjointly meet. Let not men say, these are their reasons, they are natural. For I believe they are portentous things unto the climate that they point upon.
Indeed, it is a strange disposed time. But men may construe things after their fashion, clean from the purpose of the things themselves. Comes Caesar to the capital tomorrow?
He doth, for he did bid Antonio send word to you he would be there tomorrow.
Good night then, Casca. This disturbed sky is not to walk in.
Farewell, Cicero.
Who's there?
A Roman.
Casca, by your voice?
Your ear is good, Cassius. What night is this?
A very pleasing night to honest men.
Whoever knew the heavens menace so?
Those that have known the earth so full of faults. For my part, I have walked about the streets, submitting me unto the perilous night, and thus, unbraced, Casca, as you see, have bared my bosom to the thunderstone, and when the cross blue lightning seemed to open the breast of heaven, I did present myself, even in the aim and very flash of it.
But wherefore did you so much tempt the heavens? It is the part of men to fear and tremble when the most mighty gods by tokens send such dreadful heralds to astonish us.
You are dull, Casca. And those sparks of life that should be in a Roman you do want, or else you use not. You look pale, and gaze and put on fear, and cast yourself in wonder to see the strange impatience of the heavens. But if you would consider the true cause, why all these fires? Why all these gliding ghosts? Why birds and beasts from quality and kind? Why old men, fools and children calculate? Why all these things change from their ordinance, their natures and preformed faculties to monstrous quality? Why, you shall find that heaven hath infused them with these spirits to make them instruments of fear and warning unto some monstrous state. Now could I, Casca, name to thee a man most like this dreadful night that thunders, lightens, opens graves, and roars as doth the lion in the Capitol. A man no mightier than thyself or me in personal action, yet prodigious grown, and fearful as all these strange eruptions are.
'Tis Caesar that you mean, is it not, Cassius?
Let it be who it is, for Romans now have thews and limbs like to their ancestors, but woe the while our fathers' minds are dead, and we are governed with our mothers' spirits. Our yoke and sufferance show us womanish.
Indeed. They say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar as a king, and he will wear his crown by sea and land in every place, save here in Italy.
I know where I will wear this dagger then. Cassius from bondage will deliver Cassius. Therein, ye gods, you will make the weak most strong. Therein, ye gods, you tyrants do defeat. Nor stony tower, nor walls of beaten brass, nor airless dungeon, nor strong links of iron can be retentive to the strength of spirit. But life, being weary of these worldly bars, never lacks power to dismiss itself. If I know this, know all the world besides, that part of tyranny that I do bear, I can shake off at pleasure.
So can I. So every bondman in his own hand bears the power to cancel his captivity.
And why should Caesar be a tyrant then? Poor man. I know he would not be a wolf, but that he sees the Romans are but sheep. He were no lion, were not Romans hinds. Those that with haste will make a mighty fire, begin it with weak straws. What trash is Rome? What rubbish and what offal, when it serves for the base matter to illuminate so vile a thing as Caesar. But, oh grief, where hast thou led me? I perhaps speak this before a willing bondman? Then I know my answer must be made, but I am armed, and dangers are to me indifferent.
You speak to Casca, and to such a man that is no flea-ring telltale. Hold my hand. Be factious for redress of all these griefs, and I will set this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest.
There's a bargain made.
And off they go to their great political adventure. Thank you very much, Casca, Cicero, and Cassius. And again, we are dealing with truly live theatre in this environment today. So as with the days of noises that interrupt at the Globe, and I mean, the pigeons that would land on the stage, and all the things that happen in real time in real theatre, they still happen live on the internet as well. So thank you for bearing with us for the little serial. There were some feed interruptions there. I hope you weren't too distracted by those. So we are going to our last scene for this 3 o'clock program. Again, we will be back again at 5 o'clock with 5 different scenes. So if you're able and if you're interested, please do drop by and join us then. But we are going to do one more now, which is from Cymbeline. Again, a play not that much done. So we are going to meet young Cloten, who is... Now, the story is a little conflicted at this point, so I'll try and make it simple if I can. King Cymbeline of Britain has a daughter called Imogen, who has, against his will, married a young commoner called Posthumus. Posthumus has been banished from the country, and Imogen is basically not allowed out of her room, or the equivalent when you're home as a castle. The king has also recently remarried, and his new wife has a son, who is called Cloten. And Cloten would very much like to be king. And as part of being king, and he, apart from the fact that he is himself a great catch, he would very much like to marry Imogen. It doesn't matter to him particularly that she's already married. He's got a plan. So we are going to meet Cloten and Imogen and witness some of his wooing. Are we ready? Do we have Bradley, Georgia? Jeff is going to make an appearance, and we have Larissa ready to be lady. Right. Okay, good. So again, as usual, as soon as I disappear, then Cloten, you get wooing. Okay, ready, set, guys, engage.
If she be up, I'll speak with her. If not, let her lie still and dream. By your leave, I know how women about her. What if I do align one of their hands? 'Tis gold which buys admittance, so often doth. Yea, and makes Diana's rangers false themselves. Yield up their deer to the standard of the stealer, and 'tis gold which makes the true man killed and saves the thief. Nay, sometimes hangs both the thief and true man. What can it not do? What and undo? I will make one of our women loyal to me, for yet I not understand the case myself. By your leave.
Who's there that knocks?
A gentleman.
No more.
Yes, and a gentlewoman's son.
That's more than some whose tailors are as dear as yours can justly boast of. What's your lordship's pleasure?
Your lady's person, is she ready?
Aye, to keep her chamber.
There is gold for you. Send me your good report.
How? My good name? Or to report of you what I shall think is good? The princess.
Good morrow, fairest. Sister, your sweet hand.
Good morrow, sir. You lay out too much pains for purchasing but trouble. The thanks I give is telling you that I am poor of thanks and scarce can spare them.
Still, I swear I love you.
If you but said so, 'twere as deep with me. If you swear still, your recompense is still that I regard it not.
This is no answer.
But that you shall not say I yield being silent, I would not speak. I pray you spare me. Faith, I shall unfold equal discourtesy to your best kindness. One of your great knowing should learn, being taught, forbearance.
To leave you in your madness twere my sin. I will not.
Fools are not mad folks.
Do you call me fool?
As I am mad, I do. If you'll be patient, I'll no more be mad. That cures us both. I am much sorry, sir. You put me to forget a lady's manners by being so verbal. And learn now, for all, that I, which know my heart, do here pronounce by the very truth of it, I care not for you. And am so near the lack of charity to accuse myself I hate you, which I had rather you felt than make my boast.
You sin against obedience, which you owe your father. For the contract you pretend with that base wretch, one bred of almes, fostered with cold dishes, with scraps over the court. It is no contract, none. And though it be allowed in meaner parties, yet who than he more mean, to knit their souls, on whom there is no more dependency but brats and beggars, in self-figured knots. Yet you're curbed from that enlargement by the consequence o'er the crown, and must not foil the precious note of it with a base slave, a hilding from a livery, a squire's cloth, a pantler, not so eminent.
Vain fellow, wert thou the son of Jupiter, and no more but what thou art besides, thou wert too base to be his groom. Thou wert dignified enough, even to the point of envy, if 'twere made comparative for your virtues to be stilled the under-hangman of his kingdom, and hated for being preferred so well.
The south fog rot him.
He never can meet more mischance than come to be but named of thee. His meanest garment that ever hath but clipped his body is dearer in my respect than all the heirs above thee, were they all made such men. How now, Pisanio? Pisanio?
His garment's now the devil.
To Dorothy, my woman, hie thee presently.
His garment.
I am sprited with a fool, frighted and angered worse. Go bid my woman search for a jewel that too casually hath left mine arm. It was thy master's. Shrew me if I would lose it for a revenue of any kings in Europe. I do think I saw it this morning. Confident I am. Last night 'twas on mine arm, I kissed it. I hope it be not gone, to tell my lord that I kiss aught but he.
'Twill not be lost.
I hope so. Go and search.
You have abused me. His meanest garment.
Aye, I said so, sir. If you will make an action, call witness to it.
I will inform your father.
Your mother, too. She's my good lady, and will conceive, I hope, but the worst of me. So I leave you, sir, to the worst of discontent.
I'll be revenged. His meanest garment. Well.
And off he goes to get over his disappointment as best he can. Well done, guys. Okay, so can I have all the lovely cast back on? We will bid you briefly, all of you. Well done, everyone. Rounds of applause all round. Thank you for taking part this week. Thank all of you who have been watching us. We'll be back at 5 o'clock this afternoon with some more scenes. If you want to hop on to support the Read for the Globe on YouTube, then you'll be able to support the Globe there as well. So please do if you can. We will also be back at 3 o'clock Sunday next week, Sunday 31st, with a brand new play, brand new to us. It's been around 400 years. We're going to be doing Measure for Measure for the very first time next week. So if you want to join us, we will be finding out with you what happens in the play. So please come and join us then if you can. Until then, please have a safe and a happy and a healthy week. We send much love and support to everybody. If you've gone back to work, if you're still at home, wherever you are, we say, well done, everybody. Let's hang in there. And we will be here every Sunday afternoon as anybody needs a distraction. All right. Farewell, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Da dee da da dee da dum, da dee da da dum, da dee da dum da da, la dee da dee da dum, da dum. The springtime, da 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 dum, da 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 dum, da da. La da dee da dum, da 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 dum, da 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 dee da 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 dum, da dee da da. Hey, nonny no, and a hey, nonny nonny no, da 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 dee da dum da dum, da dum da da dee da, da 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 da. Da 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 dee da 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 da, la da 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 dee da dum da dum da dum da 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 dum, la dee da 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 da, with a hey and a ho and a hey, nonny no, la da dee da da dum da dum, da dee da dum da da da.